Watched it in its entirety almost.
The old James Bond.
Yeah, the James Bond one. And then I read the Wikipedia page, and it was interesting because they did a very good job of breaking down why it's one of the best Bonds. And it is all of the Bond movies sprout from Goldfinger. I mean, like the way the evil guy dies, the non sequitur scene in the beginning that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. Like that was the first one where they did that because it's like he's going from mission to mission. He's wrapping one up and now he's going into this one, you know?
Oh, he's wrapping one up inside of a lady. All right.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, let's start the show with this catchy tune.
Hell yeah. We're here. TV is on. We have a new president, finally.
Well, I will believe it when the hand is off the Bible.
Yeah. I was going to start by just being like, what are we going to talk about today?
we go into the deep end
What's
immediately.
going on in this world?
You know? But again, once again, the song served its purpose, Keith. It got me into a...
It's a good mind clear. You got to be quiet for a minute.
Exactly.
It's good.
It focuses you. Kind of your emotional state, at least where I'm at.
Lean back a little bit here.
It's been a bit of a ringer. I would say it's been an emotional
you trembled.
week.
You trembled earlier in the week. Welcome in, guys, everybody. I am Keith Pazel. This is my podcast. I'm always here with Adam Crocious.
Hello, everyone.
Lot going on this week. Lot going on, but it really was the same thing every day. But it was a lot.
Yeah, but there was definitely a tension to it. I checked in on it. I was still trying to do my thing.
You know, there's been less actual physical protest to this. I am surprised by. I thought immediately you'd have shit kickers throwing fucking AK-47s through fucking D&D dorks' chests.
Quit trying to ramrod your Nerdist thing down my head.
Yeah.
You homo.
Just
Like saying all gay slurs.
Men with
you Jew.
Guns with bayonets that are fucking decorated like Steven Tyler's microphone.
But I'm going to tell you.
American flags.
Yeah, that would be cartoonish. I tell you what, it's still a possibility. We aren't out of this yet.
I think
we're not out of this yet.
Well, and this is where I was telling her, this is where I could finally pull up some sort of integrity, because I will tell all these Trump supporters the same thing I told Hillary people the last time. Get over it. You lost. It goes both ways.
Yeah. But
even if they cheated to win, it's politics, man. That's one thing I agree. That's one thing. There's a comic we both know named David Angelo who is a libertarian. So usually we roll our eyes, but he's so funny. And he said, like, he goes, even if the Dems did steal this election, who cares? It's a power grab. If you're not cheating to grab power, then what the fuck are you here for? And I was kind of like, I feel that. Like, even if you find out.
What does that mean?
Well, as far as the power grab
cheating
aspect of it, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but as far as the power grab aspect, like, why wouldn't anyone do anything they possibly could to, especially if you think your power grab is actually going to help people?
Yeah, and well, it's going to help people just by ending the Trump presidency. Just that alone. There will be addition by subtraction, let alone policies and what they're going to try to do.
This is when you know a country had to rebrand, because this was the country music channel, and now it's just CMT. So, like, they got good movies like this, and then you're like, guitar journeys. They just 45 minutes of them showing you electric guitars.
The only thing I ever watched on this network consistently was the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader
the competition show.
Yeah.
They did have that, didn't they?
I used to watch. I probably watched 8 to 10 episodes of that. The women looked good. I'll be honest with you. They had a certain look. you know, but it was also like weird Texas pride, like Texas women, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the way a beauty looks, and the women who ran it, like who ran the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are phenomenal.
Well, and apparently it's not fun. They don't pay you well.
Oh yeah. I think
seems
you're
like a
pretty
miserable
exploited.
existence.
You're pretty exploited, but when I was a kid, that was big. But yeah, so on country music television, I used to watch the Dallas making the team. I think it was called the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. I think I was making.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're on a carousel.
That's a lot of that early channels. I remember is that show, and I also remember early FX. They had the X show, which was Bert Kreischer and some other people. Like it was just kind of like the best damn sports show, but kind of with more topics. They sat around in beanbag chairs around fucking lava lamps. Fucking
here's your set.
Kreischer was wearing flip flops, and they just were edgy about the world. But also,
what
FX,
year was that? You think?
Mid to late 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember
because I remember watching FX used to also play AL West baseball.
Yes.
So I remember around 10 o'clock on FX, you'd watch A's games and shit and Angels games.
Absolutely.
I remember having to speed write. I was the king of this shit. 7th grade, I had to write a paper about the Revolutionary War, which through writing this paper became my favorite thing in history. It was due on Monday, so Saturday, this might have even been Sunday. I had to write 9 fucking pages. Ooh, Video's choppy.
I believe me. I know that. I know the feeling of cramming a paper. I know the feeling. That's basically what my life has been for the past 30 years. So if there's one thing you do in business, you will write, you know?
Dude, this video is so fucking choppy.
But what are you trying to pull together, you think, buddy, man? Yeah, but yeah, so we're watching Beverly Hills Cop 3, which I never saw. I thought this had come out in 88. I'm starting to get too old, right? And I'm usually good with dates. But 88, I think, or 87 or 80, I think it was 84
was the first one.
And then 86, I think, was part 2, which still had some of the magic. But boy, by 94, that's 8 years later. Things have changed. The movie palette has changed, you know, and you were trying to come back, blow the dust off because you're like, damn it, I got to make my career still work. I'm Eddie Murphy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but how fucking
himself, I think,
but how down was he? Was he really broke or something?
No, I don't think he was really ever broke, but he was a fucking huge star for a solid 8 years. I mean, he's obviously still a star, but I mean, he was it. He was the shit.
There's a level of stardom you get to where they start taking everything you can do well and trying to make like an empire out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you can kind of sing.
Like a mini
Let's
economy.
do an album.
Yeah.
We'll get Michael Jackson involved.
But you're right. This is not him doing characters. This is him doing the stud guy. That's what he wanted to do, like kind of the cool guy, you know. But a lot of his talents are when he can do 4 or 5 different characters. Because he was great on Saturday Night Live with that. His characters were great on Saturday Night Live. He did good impressions, very good impressions. But I thought his characters were actually funnier. Velvet Jones, How to Be a Hoe.
This guy's in a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, he was an American Gigolo.
He either plays a guy that you think is gonna kill you but doesn't.
Yeah,
and he's super sweet, or he's super sweet and he's there to like kill you.
Then he kills you.
Like he's always
he's a double cross.
He's always
a double cross
unassuming
going on.
something, whether it's murder, who knows.
Yeah, man. So it is. I've never seen this. This is looks really bad.
So how much of the election did you actually watch?
You know, on Tuesday, I didn't really start watching until probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon. You know, a little later. And then I was watching kind of intermittently. I did not feel good on Tuesday. I had a bad backache from golfing, and I was in a weird emotional headspace, I think, that day.
Yeah.
You know? And then I just started to watch it. I wanted to start seeing the results. Okay, well, we're on the West Coast. By 4 o'clock here, at 7 o'clock on the East Coast.
Welcome back, Uncle Dave.
So, you know, this is the happy ending. You know,
is Leslie Nielsen Uncle Dave?
Wow. It's not Leslie Nielsen.
No.
It'd be hilarious if it was.
He's Leslie Nielsen-like.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Yep.
Exactly. They were like, can we almost get Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen and him went to some similar auditions like in 71.
You know, I got to say, the Naked Gun movies I never really got as a kid. I knew the little scenes. Like, I know the scene at the Angels game and shit like that. But they always were just kind of like, whatever. That's why when O.J. Simpson murdered Nicole, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Why do you care?
Yeah, it is. The first one I saw it, I was in college, Keith, when the first Naked Gun came out. And because it was like Airplane, which I always liked from my youth, it felt very fast-paced and it was funny. Like, ooh, hey, it's fast. You're getting the fast jokes because you're smart, you know? You go back and watch it now. It hasn't aged that well.
No, because it
I'm not
hasn't
talking about
aged
Airplane.
well.
I'm not talking about Airplane.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Naked Gun. But Airplane.
Oh, yeah.
Airplane's old, too.
Well, because it's so fucking cheap. It's so shticky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, even, like, now it looks so over the top.
Yeah.
And almost like a parody of a shtick movie.
Yeah, Landis directed this. Holy shit.
Steven D'Souza. Oh, they broke out the fucking... And it says based on characters.
Is that Dinesh D'Souza's brother trying to make it as a screenwriter in Hollywood?
Yeah.
You know?
Wearing white face. Peach face.
Wearing... You can trust me. I'm a right-wing prick.
Trying to be Guilo up for Hollywood.
So my experience with watching the election results when they first came in, I wanted to hear about how certain counties were looking.
Look, he's walking with the people.
And I wanted to hear about the Ohio in particular. I was like, well, they should get some results back on Ohio and Florida.
It looked like he was going to flip that for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Then
he
it was
got
like
throat fucked in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio and Florida, boy, he got taken down. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I mean, those were deemed to be, they could be like battleground.
Yeah, but you started trembling, you said.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm going to have to deal with another 4 years of this guy.
Well, before we went to bed, I kind of got tired too, and you do have those weird, even like I had to kick myself because I'm just like, how bad is it going to be?
Yeah.
He's not, it's not the Middle East here.
Yeah, but
it will never be the Middle East. Yeah, but still, it would have been bad. It would have been a bad next 4 years.
It just, he would have been validated.
No one wants to be that guy either.
I mean, he
look how hard it is when you have a dipshit older brother to like have friends at school and like all the teachers hate you. That's what being American would have been like for the next 4 years.
How is this again? I'm sorry.
Like how when you have an asshole older brother who everybody hates and then you go into school and everybody knows you through your dipshit brher. The teachers hate you because, you're a whatever the fuck. You're a McNulty.
Yeah. No, I got a little bit of shit. My brother was
your older
popular
brother
with some
goosed
people,
me.
But no, with Trump, I thought, okay, he's probably going to win again. But then I was like, the mail-in ballots have not all been counted. So I was like, I went to bed, got a decent night's sleep, went over and voted first thing on Tuesday morning right away. I had registered. I went and I voted. I did that, make my voice heard. And then, I was trembling that night. I was literally like, it was so emotional. And I pride myself on not getting fucked up like that. I'm pretty repressed.
You were clutching your Reggie Jackson pillow.
But it was just like, I felt
Do you
chills.
have anything?
I felt chills.
Have you totally adulted out of, do you have anything from your childhood that like brings you calm of like, at the end of the day, I have this little fucking, I still have this comforter from when I was a kid.
I have my memories and my memories do me well.
Well, no, eventually you're going to get a brain disease and forget that
I think
shit.
it might be starting right now. I honestly believe I'm losing it. I think the mental part of it all, I think I got a pretty sharp mind, but I've been, I don't know, I've been having a difficult time. So on Tuesday,
Stan Mikita, I feel so bad for him. So for people who don't know, Stan Mikita played for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Great hockey
legendary hockey player overall, not just big in the Blackhawks organization. One of the highest scorers in the history of hockey.
Absolutely.
He never kept memorabilia. His house has no inkling that he played professional hockey, and they always asked him why. And he goes, because I have my memories.
Yeah.
And old Stan Mikita got dementia. And now, he's dead now, but before he said he lost all memory of being a hockey player.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I feel bad, but B, why are you going to rest on those laurels, huh?
But also,
I'm always going to have my memories.
Are you hoping your gifts are going to like come back? Oh, yes. You're not even going to remember the gift. At that point, I think you're so gone that you don't, you're still looking at it from the lens of control.
Well, this was pre-dementia where he would say like, I don't need memorabilia. I always have my memories.
Yeah.
And then
that's
did the Lord have something else to say about that.
That's like an old school, like, I am a solemn athlete. I do not have an individual personality. It's like before free agency. Like, I am merely a grim man.
Yeah.
Showing up to my job, punching the clock. Athletes in the 60s had to have jobs, like part-time jobs in the off season. Like now, if you're an athlete, your job is being an athlete. I think I've said this before. My
grandpa worked with Brian Piccolo.
Yes, absolutely.
At a machine shop.
Yeah. Hey, Pick. Like, what's going on? Hold on.
Said he walked like he had ball bearings in his shoes.
Yeah, I believe that. Like he was already that
rough
beaten up.
Knees. Yeah. Rough knees.
And I'm sure working in that shop, I'm sure there weren't any carcinogenics floating around in the air.
Yeah.
In
also,
1968 Chicago. You know?
It was before that. My grandpa was born in 24.
Well, Brian Piccolo played.
So when he played in, it definitely was the 60s.
Oh, yeah, he played from 60s.
Probably right after my fucking grandpa got back from old Bismarck. Because they had my Uncle Ed in Bismarck in the late 50s.
Okay.
And then they got back to Chicago.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, that's what whenever he would tell me those stories, he would say, he would be in awe of how much money athletes make. And he would be like, dude, I used to work with professional athletes.
Yeah.
Like, you needed to have jobs in the off season.
Absolutely. Until free agency came through.
Which happened late. I didn't realize free agency was like 88.
Well,
Wilbur Marshall left the Bears. Wasn't Wilbur Marshall one of the first people to leave the Bears? That like the first chip off the Bears defense was like Otis Wilson or Wilbur Marshall.
No, it was Wilbur Marshall signing with the Redskins. Wilbur Marshall was and they never talk about him. He was a great
Also,
linebacker.
Wilbur Marshall was one of those dudes that, my name, Wilbur Marshall. Like, he had a
speech impediment.
Hardcore Southern accent.
Yeah.
He sounded like a fucking, I don't know, that would be too racist if I said that joke.
Okay, good. We're not going to have those moments. No. But with free agency in football didn't happen until like the 90s. And like Plan B, they tried to like manage it a certain way, and then it just was a free-for-all. I mean, with football, baseball didn't happen until the 70s. You know, and hockey didn't happen. Their union was terrible, too. They had a horrible union. There was not hockey players. These are not intellectuals. It's kind of like baseball players. You know, at a young age, you just go and play in the minors. You know, at a young age, you're playing juniors.
There's paths you take in baseball. You fucking marry your high school sweetheart. They lock that down early.
Yes.
On both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because, you're a hot stud baseball player. You're getting the pick of the high school.
I had a buddy who pitched minor league baseball in the Phillies system for 3 years. He was in high A ball.
Is there any way to like save a little money and like, okay, I'm good for a few? That's paycheck to paycheck.
No, man. Yeah, you're getting a stipend. Like you get your stipend to like, I think the team gives you a per diem of $10 to $12 a day, basically for meals, and then you also get your pay. I think he made about $800 a month.
That's wild.
You know, like in the 80s, I think. You know, so he made a little bit of money at that time. He had to work, obviously, in the offseason. He was in high A ball, but he was in a town in West Virginia when they had their first ATM. Their first ATM, and this is like late 80s, early 90s. Like ATMs weren't everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
So in West Virginia,
they probably looked at you like an asshole if you needed to use one.
Yeah,
like,
you went to your bank.
Fuck, we got to walk 10 blocks now because you need to take money out like a fucking futuristic cock.
So he did the ribbon cutting. They had a ribbon cutting for the first
Friends
ATM.
Make fun of you.
You know, I'm a single A ball player. I'm doing a ribbon cutting for the first ATM, and you know, in this town in West Virginia.
Running man over here needs to go to the ATM and take money out.
But he also said they had a big house. Like they had this big 12-room, like it was an old hotel that the players all lived in, and they were next to a nurses' college. Oh. So they got laid all the time.
Oh, and it was sanitary? It was clean?
Yeah. They got laid constantly.
Bringing over all the lube, all the condoms in the little tiny grocery bags.
It was great because it was like 25 baseball players and like 25 co-eds. So it was awesome, you know.
What an old term to me. We're going to go knock off some co-eds. That should be I'm a co-ed.
You know,
that should be a compartment that they put people in nowadays.
Yeah, man. It was
so there's the election all week, but it played out like everybody thought. I think everybody was hearing up to the whole time like
I was encouraged.
It's going to take all week. It's going to take all week, and everybody was like, all right. And then day of the election, it was just a flood of like, well, maybe we'll get this. Well, maybe we'll get that. Like, I feel like people changed their fucking vibe day of the election of like, everyone kind of thought like, well, it's going to be a domination. Joe Biden's going to win by 7 p.m.
Yeah, well, no, that's if you live out here. You live in L.A. or in a big city.
They called California before they started counting votes.
Yeah, they knew. He was not going to win California.
Which, even though it's correct, shit like that does seem shady. When you're like, at least wait a little bit. Like, they legitimately, the polls closed, and then they were like, we can call California for, like, how?
They also knew they're not going to be challenged. They just know that is what they weren't going to win.
I also wonder if they counted their online votes early. Because some states got to count their votes before the election, and then you just can't release the results.
That's part of the confusion and why
Imagine
people
that
are not
non-disclosure.
Yeah. God.
They fucking...
Yeah.
Put an old-timey musket to your head and fucking make you sign a non-disclosure about the election results.
Yeah, I think it's part of the reason why, I don't understand the election laws. I have a political science degree. I've got a master's degree in public policy. It varies state by state the way it's handled. There's so much to know, and it's just, I think it's part of the reason why people aren't very civic-minded in this country. It's too big. People understand how the states relate to the federal government. How does that relationship get defined? What does that mean? How does it affect my life? Why should I even care?
Yeah.
But this forced people to care. And I will say, I've said with Trump all along, the best thing he's done is he's actually forced an apolitical country to start actually thinking about some of these issues.
Here's what I wanted to pose to you. Do you think now there is going to be next 2024? Do you think there's going to be a viable third candidate?
God, I don't even know if I can make predictions. I think I know things, and boy, these last two elections, this whole,
because people are still ready for change, and that's how things were getting back to normal, because it took a couple of days ago. You kind of knew, okay, Biden's got it unless some wild shit happens. And everyone kind of was holding off. No one wanted to be the network to call any state for Biden.
Yeah.
Because I think people were legitimately scared of, like, the second we say Biden wins, someone's going to get their brains blown out.
Yeah. And also just like, we don't want to they have to make the count, man. They got to make the count. They got to make that happen, So it's just, and it seems like, again, I think it's a good thing just for a society, for our species. There's some difficult discussions that have to happen, I think, in the country. And there's some big problems that have to be kind of dealt with. And I don't know. I'm hoping there's some spirit for that. But I just think Trump, it's poisoned the water so bad. I just don't know how it
But how I knew things were getting back to normal is the second it was clear that Biden was going to win, all the super liberal people were like, all right, now you should know that because it was this close, we're all still racist, including you reading this post. You're racist. All your political opinions should only be geared toward people of color.
Yeah.
You can't think of, if you're white, your concerns do not matter.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, I fucking get it.
Yeah,
Can we just celebrate for a week?
Yeah.
Can I not be part of the machine problem for fucking 2 days?
Yeah. Yeah, the level of the discussion and the debate.
I read an Instagram post that was going around where it was like, here's a list of things you have to abide by now that Trump is gone. The problem's not gone. You're the problem. If you're white, you have no fears, so don't think you should have fears.
Yeah.
Which I get philosophically, but if you live in a bad neighborhood and you fucking, doesn't matter what color you are, you want to feel safe.
Yeah. It's, I don't know how, I thought it was going to be
But that was the tone of the post going around, is like, all your political aspirations should only be geared toward how does it affect people of color. Like if you're white, you no longer are allowed to think about yourself when it comes to politics.
I don't know I don't even know what that statement means. I don't get what the statement
if
even
you're
means.
white in this country, you have nothing to worry about. So when it comes to what you're thinking about politically, your concerns shouldn't be in the cards. You should be thinking about. That's the Instagram post I read. It was almost verbatim a weird, you are a white person in America. You have no problems. So don't. So you should. I know
this is going to be a weird.
So you
thing.
should only be thinking about your people of color friends, your gay friends.
I don't know what it is, and maybe it's because of the way I was raised, and I'm lucky because I had a pretty fucking cool mom, I think, in certain ways, politically, certainly. And I'm not like, whoa, I'm above the fray because I'm so intelligent. No. The whole white identity thing has never made sense to me ever since I was a little kid. And I went to Stonewall Jackson Middle School, for Christ's sake.
That just changed.
They just changed the name last year, or like, I don't know, 8 months ago or something. I mean, Stonewall, there was racial fucking tension. And lines were being drawn. It was like, they're 25% black, and it was, and there was a racial tension was already happening in the 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah.
Fights were breaking out. And I just never understood the white idea. Like, I defined myself as white.
Right.
I always kind of thought of myself as a human being first.
But what I'm even saying is philosophically, I understand that. And this was just one Instagram post. I'm not saying this is something that I just thinks. This got texted to me by one of my hardcore liberal cousins.
It's in the white noise out
and
there.
I read it and I'm like, I get this philosophically, but you can't tell me that I can't think about myself when it comes to what about a political candidate? I think about both? Can't I register both of how does this affect my black friends and me?
Yeah. No, it's the idea to get to is that we are in this together. So, and people of color, I think, have felt so excluded for so long. Have been. Yeah. No, I understand. No, absolutely, it's real. Trust me, I've dedicated a lot of my life to it. So it's just. It is, and I don't get that. It's not a loss if you include people. I don't have this zero-sum game of looking at things like it's somehow at my expense if someone else supposedly gets this job. That fucking bullshit narrative of just of affirmative actions taking my job, and that fucking
dude, they're bringing it back
people,
here. That's dope. California, I think, is going to bring that shit back.
What's this?
Affirmative action. Oh, it got shot down?
Yeah. I think it's,
see, that's where the presidential thing took over the week is I don't remember any of those props that passed.
Yeah. All of the good props failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except for the ones where
the third.
former felons can vote.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
Only incarcerated people can vote now.
Yeah. So it is just,
Anderson Cooper called Trump an obese turtle. That's fun.
Yeah. That is true in his son.
He really is fat, man.
Yeah. Oh, Trump? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be his punishment. They should drag him out of the office because we talked about this off air. What's going to be this next 75 days, first of all?
Yeah, I think they'll throw in probably a bogus lawsuit or two.
There will be a recount, but they're not going to find that many votes unless they can figure out a way to actually cheat the recount.
Which, I think that there'll be an attempt at that, which part of me, I don't want that to happen, but if it does happen, I hope it distracts him from what he can do as a lame duck president. Because I've always kind of feared his lame duck period of him throwing really bad temper tantrums.
He can start a nuclear war. And that's when, on the other side of how people were like, all right, Joe Biden's president, we're still all racist. Don't be too happy. That kind of buzzkill. Yeah. I'm thinking about the buzzkill on the other side of Joe Biden won, but Trump is still the president for the next 75 days. He can start a nuclear war.
Well, I don't think something like that's going to happen. I think
But he won't. But I'm saying, it's not like he's totally powerless all of a sudden.
Yeah. He'll pardon his fucking asshole friends.
Roger Stone was the big one. God. Roger Stone with his giant back tattoo.
Such an asshole.
Dress is so nice though.
He's one of the guys who had the right wing thing where with the Charlottesville march of changing the look and making them wear Oxfords. He did that, I guess, in Florida. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Wasn't Roger Stone with your boy Roy Cohn? Weren't they best friends?
Absolutely. Yeah, they ran in the same circles.
Roy Cohn also, as
did Paul Manafort.
Also, Roy Cohn was, I think, early on a Fred Trump lawyer. I think
he might have been.
I think Roy Cohn has been a family cog.
He might have been. He was in the 50s. What a weird human being. What an odd life.
But the next 75 days is going to be recounts and the logic on the right, and he's convinced all his followers that every vote cast after 11:59 standard time on Tuesday is illegal. That even Ken Starr said counting votes after Election Day is illegal. That is not true.
Yeah.
If you look at the Wikipedia page for every election, they have a total electoral count.
Yeah.
If you look at the 84 election, it says Ronald Reagan got 504 electoral college votes. They don't just stop at 270.
Yeah.
That's not the game.
Yeah.
But declaring the winner just in your head makes it over, and then they spend the next 2 weeks counting fucking votes somewhere.
Yeah.
And you just don't know it. It just is a much bigger deal now because there were so many mail-in ballots. Usually before that, you can call an election before you even count the mail-in votes because they matter that little.
The COVID thing. I think it was, to be honest, and maybe because, I'm happy because, obviously it's a good thing that Biden won, obviously.
Well, also, like she said off air, him telling all his followers that counting by mail was bad probably helped because only Democrats voted by mail.
Yeah.
So those mail-in ballots were all blue.
Yeah.
Like if there were any inkling of Republicans who voted by mail, it was like over.
Yeah. And I'm sure Trump will take full responsibility for that because he deals well with, he can say he's sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can really look at himself in the mirror and honestly know assess his character.
Also, he's playing the popular vote now.
Like?
He said his last tweet was, we can look at his thoughts. We'll look at his Twitter. His last tweet was, I got 71 million legal votes, more than any sitting president in history. He is claiming he won.
Yeah.
I won this election. It was stolen. Every vote that was counted after Election Day is illegal. And more so, I bet if you broke down his logic more, he's going to try and say any vote that wasn't a Republican vote is somehow illegal.
Oh yeah. I mean, he'll do anything. He'll throw anything. He doesn't care. There is no bottom. There's no bottom to him. So I think, again, how it ends, we've talked about this on the show before. I think how it ends, and I don't know. I don't know. I have no crystal ball. It's been unpredictable. But it was
pretty predictable.
Him getting released.
They said it was going to take a week. They said that it was going to come down to
his
states.
entire presidency, I feel like, in certain ways.
Oh, absolutely. That's kind of been the bad fun of it. Of like, what the fuck is he going to say today?
Yeah, absolutely. That is unhealthy. That is unhealthy, I think, on a culture for a long time. I think it's not good. It's just not good for the discussion. It's not good for the debate. And he's just been the center of attention. He's been like it's like a dysfunctional family that is paying all attention to this like cancerous thing. That's literally how I perceive his presidency. It's so bad. It's pretty incredible. It's epic that he made it through and reveals some real issues,
I don't think he's going to leave not even like, I'm still the president. I think at some point he will acknowledge that he lost the election. I think he's going to try and live in the White House after the day. They're going to have to arrest him.
Yeah.
And I think when they arrest him, he should Mussolini style be hung by his ankles, and you pull off his shirt, and people should have to slap his belly. You slap his fat tits and belly until he cries.
Yeah,
public humiliation.
Yeah, what I think the best we could hope for is him being taken out in handcuffs. Him being taken out.
He's
going to
be forced to leave.
Like
when security
by,
has
marshals.
To, like when security has to escort an incel from a building after they get fired.
Yeah, exactly. Like a couple of marshals are going to have to go in there and be like, we got to take it. And they'll probably try to do it by cover of night. So here's the fantasy I have with Trump. He goes back to New York. He obviously gets arrested. He gets indicted.
He owes people money.
He gets indicted.
Might get a couple knuckles broken too. You never know with the mad.
I always thought that if he wouldn't have become president, he would have been bobbing in the East River. But
I think weirdly he might become like a Ukraine citizen or something like that. That's why he'll move to Europe or something.
I've got a friend who said, just let him go to Russia. You're just not allowed back in. You can do it. It's okay. You don't owe us anything. Just
start a TV channel.
Go hang out with your friends.
Start a TV channel. Make Edward Snowden your Anderson Cooper.
So, but my fantasy is he gets indicted, convicted. Got to serve time. And I just want to have a large crowd of people as he is going into the jail and yelling, "Lock him up." lock him up. His campaign against Hillary was so fucking awful and horrific and tied into the fucking that damn cunt. I mean, it was so fucking sexist. And
he should have just said cunt.
You know? Oh my God. I mean, his whole it's incredible. And to vote for him, I mean, it's just it's really amazing. It's
well, I mean, that's another thing too. Is I think another mistake people made is that I think there was this theory that, and I think said it a couple episodes ago, that there was going to be this eye-opening, like people who supported him were going to be like, oh yeah, now that he's not the president, like I admit he was bad, but it seems like there's doubling down on all.
I mean, they're
and the logic seems to be, and this is so goddamn, I guess, Republican Party now, of like them even saying, don't even tell me the facts. This is a theft job.
Yeah.
Don't try and tell me your fake news facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Also, I think there are still some people. There's a still small contingent of people that thinks this is still an active election, and he's going to sue his way back to being president.
Yeah. Well, I think that
he'll flip the states that he lost, and then the two ones that are still active, he'll win.
Yeah. No, I think that. Well, that'll. I mean, that's probably the thought process. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. And so, again, I think the good thing about that is hopefully that occupies his time so he can't do horrible things in his lame duck period. You know what I mean? So he couldn't do awful things. His foreign policy has been such a colossal fucking disaster. I mean, it is just...
I have heard a couple people, and even a couple uber left people say that he has gotten some of the NATO countries to pay us a little more money, but the cost has been greater than
the benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, he has gotten NATO countries to pay us a little more money, but that's still not like at what cost.
Again, it is, okay, fine. And U.S. presidents have complained about that since Kennedy.
And that NATO doesn't pay us enough money.
And they're required to pay 2% of the GDP. Certain countries are. 2% of their GDP towards their defense that this country was picking up the tab on for a long time. Okay, then if you're going to do that and say, okay, you got to pay more money, then you have to vociferously say to the world, NATO is strong. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. So you have to say, no, this is it. And he didn't do that. It's like the signal that sends, it's not good. It's just not good to your allies. These are your traditional allies, but there is an element in the Republican Party. Newt Gingrich represented this too. It's a very Southern kind of view of just like, Europe is, we got away from it for a reason. We didn't want to get entangled in it. It's like that isolationist streak was definitely part of his whole outlook and has been part of this country's outlook forever. It's so inward looking, and he just that relationship, those relationships have really been strained, and the mistrust is pretty huge. And it's just like, that crap's got to be fucking healed up. And it's just
I also wonder, and this is not going to be...
Biden's 77 years old. The job takes energy.
I wonder if, and this is a far-fetched theory, but if Trump was so embarrassing to the Republican Party that they kind of slightly rebrand. I'm not saying like there's going to certain issues that they'll always be anti-abortion,
low
pro-life,
taxes,
taxes. That's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's the.
But I'm
bedrock.
saying maybe there's going to be a collective like, let's all not be psychopaths for a little bit.
I think he's got a spell on it. I mean, they've been afraid of him. I mean, no one stood up. I mean, You
think they showed him the wind of like, look how, if you're just a fucking asshole and throw your power around, look what you can get done.
And also, they were afraid of him because they got to go back to their states where he's popular. So it's like, fuck, I got to follow this guy, I guess, because if I don't, my ass is going to be voted out and I'll be replaced by, this is like a movement. I mean, it's not going anywhere, I don't think. It's just necessary that he had to be slain. He had to be slain and he had to be taken down. And it's just, it's just good that this has happened because they're going to try to attack it legally. I don't know the grounds that they're going to have to actually stand on. We'll see how that plays out. He can't do it that way. It's just, and just from a morale point of view, it's such a blatant power grab. It's gross. So I don't know.
I also wonder if the Supreme Court if this will even get to the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't think it. there's a chance it doesn't happen. You know
got
what I mean?
A lot of things on tap here for the second half.
Oh, Tombstone.
We're at about 42 minutes.
Tombstone's it, yeah.
We're through the topic. We've kind of covered the election.
Well, you know,
we also have Taken 2, Crocious.
I swear I've been taken. I've been taken with my ex-wife.
Is a movie that we've never seen. We've seen Taken.
Absolutely. I swear.
We also have Beverly Hills Cop 1, I think, is on.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of things to think about here.
I'd like to see Taken 2. Taken 2 has struck me. So
absolutely.
That's definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But with the election, one other thing, the polling thing and the whole, I mean, it's just.
We'll go out on Tombstone.
I was hoping. It's great. I love Tombstone. Great one. It is, this Trump phenomenon ain't going away. It's just, I don't know how it's going to remorph itself and how it's going to manifest itself. It's just like, Paul Thomas Anderson. Who was the guy? There was a comedian in Chicago named
they said
John
in the movie, in the political film Magnolia, the theory was bandied about.
There was a comedian who was in that had a joke, a rock band. They were hilarious.
Oh, Rockstar?
And it was Paul Thomas?
The Steel Dragon or something like that?
It was Paul Thomas. And they're hilarious. They had a couple of really funny songs. I've got two black friends.
Oh, no, you're talking about fucking Lola Balatro.
Yeah, and Paul Thomas
Chicago
is in that.
Comedy Band.
Yeah, they're hilarious. They got really good songs. They're
got a song about naming a panda.
They got a song about being like a modern day rock star.
And their look is all crazy. Like they wear eyeliner like metal people, but they dress country western. And they sing like acoustic-y kind of music. It's all kinds of fucking shit at once.
Yeah, it's pretty, but yet they're also musically pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
I mean, that's why a truly good joke band, they have to be good musicians, because if you're bad musicians, it ain't gonna work. But your gimmick's not gonna work. But he had a line about Republicans. He thinks of the Republican Party as.
I would like to see a thing of how often that line's been used. Small town, big problems.
I think it's been a lot. But again, it's like the dog in the front yard of a house that has a chain around its neck that's just that's worn out all of the grass in that circle. It's just this like, I mean, like I think that's tone is still going to be there. I think.
Here's the thing, though, Crow. You can shoot a dog.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to kill any Republicans.
I mean, when I watched the Frontline Decision 2020 this week, leading up to it.
Did you see they changed the title? At least on MSNBC, they changed it to, it's usually America Decides, and now it's America Has This. Like they've made it, they've changed it to like.
Yep, they're putting the narrative out. They're trying to get the story with that.
I gotta say this too, and as much I've never seen. As obvious as it is, I've never seen people cheer. Whatever way you want to look at it, whether they're cheering for Trump losing or for Joe Biden, actual joy in the streets. I've never seen that from an election result. Yeah.
Well, in 2008 when Obama
and you could
won,
just be cheering because you get to watch regular TV again.
Yeah, no, I went to the farmers market. Yeah, it was packed. It was packed. People were fired up.
I gotta say, we walked downtown today. We went to Target, picked up some stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bounce in the air.
Yeah.
People are nodding at each other. It's kind of like after 9/11. It's kind of like the day after 9/11. Well, except for it's been a 4-year 9/11. I put on my Facebook page the end of Nightmare on Elm Street, where how the end of the first Nightmare on Elm Street, she wakes up.
Yeah.
It's a brand new day. Her mom is fucking not drunk. Her friends are all still alive. They sell it like the whole movie's been a nightmare. It's been real, but it's been a nightmare. Yeah. Like the whole battle with Freddy Krueger has taken place in her dream.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she gets in a car and the fucking, as they're driving away, the top comes down.
And it's Freddy
Krueger's sweater and her mom gets ripped through. And that was so on point to me because you have the happiness of Trump being done.
Yeah.
And then you have all of the uber liberal people who are just like, it's still a racist country. You still benefit from it. You have to think of your of just the kind of like back to reality of like, don't be too happy. Freddy Krueger's still alive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I thought the end of Nightmare on Elm Street 1 was a perfect analogy to the end of the Trump presidency. Like you're happy, but man, are there still problems?
Oh yeah.
Because I get the theory. Like I was like to piggyback off the earlier, like you're white, you can't have any concerns.
Yeah.
I understand that. like, I get it.
Yeah. Well, just the whole, yeah, it is.
And the whole, like, you know, Biden's not all roses. He's going to say fucked up shit along the way.
Yeah. He is old, boy. When they showed him giving a speech, I mean, you look at him move and stuff, it's like, wow, he is. I mean, if this was 2 or 3 years, he was 2 or 3 years older, he wouldn't have been able to run.
Yeah.
I mean, he is frail. You know, there's no doubt about it. I like Camilla. I think Kamala's
and I also
great,
do
She's
think it is.
great.
There probably is a sense
smart.
of people on the left to just remind people that, because I think Trump did such a spell job of telling people, like, the Democrats are the puppet of the left, the Democrats are the puppet of the left, to where I think people on the left had to be like, you know, the Democrats aren't progressive. Like, this is not a win for progressives.
Yeah. No, he knew Biden was the most difficult challenge he was going to have. And if COVID hadn't happened, he would have been reelected.
Yes.
He absolutely would have been reelected. And it would have been gross and it would have been disgusting. COVID is going to save the republic. And it's, as, you know, rough of a thought as that is, I think it's going to save it, because it's just it is so toxic what he has done. I mean, the institutions that he has absolutely ripped down. Here's one point I want to make, one final point politically. When he came in, he said, I'm going to take, for every one regulation that's made by the bureaucracy,
he's going to take one away.
He'll take two away. You know what the ratio ended up being? 22-1. He took away 22 regulations for every one that was created. Now, for some people, they would say, oh, well, because they have this binary understanding of regulation that somehow, if you regulate the economy, it automatically is bad for the economy. The state gets too involved. It's automatically a bad thing. No, there are certain benefits that happen. I mean, I'm not saying regulation shouldn't be thought out. It's got to be very well thought out, and markets change and dynamics change.
As long as you're not fucking with the restrictor plate on my hot rod,
I'm okay.
I don't care.
But it is. I mean, it's been they just ripped down the administrative state. So
that is weird how niche some suburb people get, because your town means so little to the world, that I knew some people as kids who were like, my family's Republican because the Republicans will let you have a fucking open exhaust system on your fucking cars.
Yeah.
Like the Democrats want you to fucking have a quiet pussy car.
Yeah. I know. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean that's part of it. That's part of the that identity. You know, that it is just.
Also, a final thing I was thinking, and then we'll tail into this break here.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a commercial break. I was walking downtown. And this is going to be, I think even people on the right have to behave themselves, because they squawked so hard about how violent the protesters were on the left, that I feel like you can't just go out and do the same thing because Trump lost. I think there has to be a sense of like, well, we can't, you know, we didn't give them the benefit of the doubt, so no one's going to give us the benefit of the doubt that it's just peaceful protesting.
Yeah, no, exactly. I hear
like
what you're saying.
my thought was like, let's see how peaceful these Trump fuckers get now when they want to protest.
Yeah.
And the left is saying that they're a bunch of psychopaths with guns.
Yeah. No, but you know, I don't think they give a shit.
And because they think people on the left are protesting for no reason.
Yeah.
That like we're actually protesting a theft, something that was actually done. You were protesting the myth of racism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the illusion. It's just it's just I've been worried about that. I've been worried about, is there going to be a violent response? I tend to think more of the lone gunman type person, as opposed to an organized, like, a militia of 750 people go into D.C. and just say, we're going to fuck things up.
I think it's going to be a lot of, let's try and make them think we're going to be violent. It's going to be a lot of
just fucking with you over
people standing on the street with fucking guns.
Yeah.
You might have people going to some liberal areas and fucking try and fucking scream Trump in people's faces to make them so that you can get video of liberals punching fucking militia people.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of that, but I just think this week took a lot out of people.
Yeah. Well, this
emotionally, Trump clearly didn't sleep.
Yeah.
He was all fucking pilled out. Him and fucking the young Trumps were just boofing lines all night, watching fucking election results roll in. When he was doing those post-election speeches, he was really like not off talking. We went
Trump.
He was tired.
Yeah.
You could tell he was tired.
Yep. He needs to stroke out. He needs to stroke out. He needs to go away, because his presence, I mean, obviously the Trumps are going to like Eric Trump. I'm sure is going to like run in like 2024. I'm sure he will. You know? Like they're going to be like a legacy name now, like
they're
a political
Kennedys.
name. Yeah, exactly.
They're the evil Kennedys.
It's just like wow. They would claim
which sounds like
Kennedys
a great
evil.
band. The evil Kennedys.
No, we mean the dead Kennedys, of course, but. But no, yeah, I we'll see how it works out. This is Tombstone. They're at the they're at an annoyance.
I remember
they're at an annoyance theater show.
I'm getting deja vu because we've watched this movie on this podcast. Never with the video, but I remember on the podcast you breaking down this scene. Because doesn't he smack his wife up a little bit here?
No.
Doesn't someone get a smack in?
They're watching a tour because at one time Tombstone was the second largest city west of the Mississippi, like in the 1880s and shit, 1870s. And so they would get like traveling theater and stuff.
Ari Shaffir there.
So they're going to see theater here. There's Mikey Manker.
Yeah.
He's doing his role. And then you see this Kurt Russell. They're going to make their money. You see that's Wyatt Earp. They're going to make their money in Tombstone because it was a big boom town. There's Billy Zane pre-Titanic.
Yeah, with hair.
And there's that's what's his face from Beverly Hills, Jason Priestley trying to make his leap into major films. So he plays a gay character in this. He's gay in '93 in this movie, and he's like he falls in love with Billy Zane, and then like Powers Booth gives him shit like, "What do you think about that one?" You see, he's falling in love with him.
Well,
he makes fun of him being gay. He doesn't call him.
Why wouldn't you? It's the fucking 1800s. It's Arizona.
This is like Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham running with the bullies. I want to be on the bullies' side. They accept me.
Oh, absolutely. Lindsey Graham would want to rob banks so bad.
That bummed me out. I gave money to Harrison. I wanted to see Lindsey Graham go down.
Those guys aren't like gonna. They're dying in office.
Yeah.
He's either gonna die of fucking old age or homosexual repression.
He'll have a heart attack over. Again, this is like an annoyance show. Whenever you go to an annoyance show, it's very raucous. They were a raucous show.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna ease into a commercial break here. We'll be back.
Yep, absolutely.
Keith Paisl's podcast.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
At Blue Cross Blue Shield, we've been protecting millions of people for over 75 years. It's what gives us the experience and understanding to help you find a plan that fits where you are today and where you'll be tomorrow. Get spring break styles for the entire family. Tees and tanks for just $5 and thousands of other amazing styles all on sale. Run to Old Navy. There are moments that define who we are, what we stand for, and where we're going. Made with pride, crafted with passion. Jeep Cherokee, find love again, right on the Gulf Coast. Beau Rivage, a feeling like no other. To succeed in our ever-changing, busy world, you've got to create your own brilliant website. Wix makes it simple. Create your website today. It's easy and it's free. Every time you raise a Pacifico, let it be a reminder to live life anchors up. Imagine waking up to the enticing aroma of bacon, sausage, fluffy eggs, and a whiff of delectable hash browns. Stop imagining. Get to McDonald's for the deluxe breakfast platter, because nobody has ever woken up to the fresh smell of cereal.
It's good right now. Yeah, I agree. He's been taken. So he's figuring out that they're going to be taken.
Yes. Well, probably, yeah.
I find her.
There's heat on me.
Old Dark Phoenix, and she was also
she's
in.
Great.
She's
Femke Janssen.
She is a very pretty woman.
She's got a exotic name.
She's Dutch. She was a Dutch model. She's 6 foot tall.
Is she Dutch?
She's Dutch. Yeah.
She's fully Americanized, but they kind of sound American anyway. They got a little flinger, binger, dinger to their voice.
She was in a good episode of Next Generation that I just watched recently.
Yeah,
where she's been bred. Such a
just to make
fantasy.
it official, Crow. I got to do this.
Okay.
Welcome back. You know what game we got.
We're watching Taken 2.
I'm keeping the Femke Janssen stuff in, but
yeah, she was
just to make it official.
She was in an episode of Next Generation where she was bred to be this mate of two warring planets, and she's like been raised in this incredibly empathetic, loving sort of way, and she has this sort of pheromone impact on men.
That's great.
She wants to bond. She has to bond like with her, and she's whatever. The Ferengi are involved.
Look at her swimming.
And
also,
it was her, and she was like, she's like. Was a supermodel. I was like, oh my god, she is a beautiful.
They do carry over the theory that like I saved your hymen in the first one. You are still a virgin.
Seriously?
I don't know. I've never really.
I thought maybe she was like hip, and they just like, hey.
She might have also.
She went to
let's be
college her
honest.
freshman year and lost it, which is what most people do.
Let's be honest. It's not like these sex traffickers don't have sex in between transitions.
But yeah,
they're not saints.
Is this Istanbul?
Who knows, man? It's wherever the fuck
it's taken.
I just look at all of Eastern Europe as just crime. Like that's my interpretation of Eastern Europe.
Wow. You know what?
Which is probably bad. It's probably a bad way to look at the world.
It wouldn't be an episode of your podcast with me on it as your guest, which I always appreciate.
You're the co-host.
You'd be the co-host on this. Thank you. But I'm second fiddle to your production.
Yeah, that's my production hosts this show.
But it is with Taken.
Give you a little backing.
Yeah, here we go with Taken. I was on to something when I lost it.
What did you?
Yeah,
something about these movies? What
yeah,
were you?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Do we want to go back to talking about how hot Femke Janssen is?
She is. I just find her very pretty. Like she's like, this is a pretty woman. By the way, last night went out, got a couple drinks at El Cid, which I do on a Friday night.
Outside?
Yeah, outside. Exactly. It was cool.
Isn't it kind of like a patio with a roof on it?
Yeah, exactly. They have like
no walls.
They have walls, but then they have like a cloth, kind of like those triangles you put in people's backyards, common to get the sun off of you. But they have like a restaurant there and a bar. It's actually it's decent, and it's I drink like 2 or 3
because I know
beers.
they were doing a comedy show in there and it got shut down for not being indoors.
Well, I went to a couple of Martin Morrow had like 1 or 2 shows that I went to. He was going to put me up, but
blame COVID.
But then they shut it down. But. Yeah, it.
So I feel like we need to get into a little TV history here. This week in TV history.
Yeah.
Want to get into that?
Absolutely.
Let's see. I love the random radio shit. Hancock's half-hour debut, starring Tony Hancock and Sid James.
What year was that?
Fucking 1954. This is British shit.
Okay.
Dude, every time I open this up, there's a goddamn Barbra Streisand musical debut.
Yeah, no kidding. Boy, she was hot for a while.
Apparently.
Let's
see. Hunger Games. What a bad day. November 2nd was an awful day in television. Just nothing happened. At all. Election Day.
Yeah.
Election Day. This is the history of television on Election Day, November 3rd. 1956, Wizard of Oz is first televised. Do you think they put that on to counter Election Day?
No, I wonder. I wonder if it was done just like, have your kids watch something. It's a pleasant thing to watch. Maybe it's
yeah.
Maybe they're trying to suppress the vote. Too.
1978, first broadcast of Different Strokes on NBC.
I was into that show immediately. Was into Different Strokes. I like Different Strokes a lot. I like Different Strokes a lot.
Yeah, we watched an episode where old fucking Dudley gets diddled.
Exactly. That is, yeah.
He gets naked. I don't know if he was touched.
Yeah, I remember that being like literally watching that and being squirming in my seat as a 13-year-old.
I don't know if he was taken. Let's see what he's telling her. Your vagina's not safe. Oh, he says you're going to be taken again.
For you too.
No, he's going to be taken.
Place where you are, calmly. Go to where the book is I told you about.
There's a door. Go into the room and hide in the closet.
You got that?
Yes.
Good. I'll call you.
I mean, I think these are pretty well-written thrillers.
What a stern voice. I love the stern voice moment, though.
Dude, I got back
to
it. I got back to my train of thought. I had never seen it. I never saw Basic Instinct in my entire life until this week. I'd never seen Basic Instinct.
I thought we watched that together.
No. We would not watch Basic. We have not watched it. It has replaced Roadhouse as my all-time favorite bad movie. It is unbelievable.
They say the word. They refer to sex as fucking a lot.
Oh, absolutely, man.
It's the first movie where they did that, where they used like porno language.
Well, it was Joe Esterhaus and Verhoeven, who was coming hot off a fucking Total Recall. He's feeling his oats.
Also, Verhoeven didn't tell Sharon Stone he shot her vagina in this scene until she goes, the first time she saw it was the movie premiere, and she slapped him in the face at the premiere.
Absolutely, because he's a scumbag. You know, I mean, it's
he
also,
did a RoboCop, dude.
It literally 90 seconds in is a full-on murder rape sex scene. It's,
well,
amazing.
the first scene isn't rape. It's
not
just
rape.
a murder.
Yeah, it's a murder, but it's
rape is when
he and
Michael Douglas and the other cop.
Yeah.
They're like. They used to have they might have even been married. They hint that they had a very serious relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And then they're like arguing, and Michael Douglas just starts aggressively making out with her, and she's going, "No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't." And at first, it's not even like an aggressive no, don't. It's just like, we can't do this anymore type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The type of no that if you were trying to hook up with your ex and she was just like,
no,
we can't do this because then we'll end up married again.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go through all of that.
That type of no, you know.
But he goes through it, and then they try and sell it even in the movie that his dicking is so good that she starts liking it.
Well, it is.
I think they just try and save that they've just had Michael Douglas rape a girl. They're like, look, he's going to rape her, but then eventually she's going to like it.
It is the way they refer to sex. It's a lot of yelling of lines, too. A lot of just loud yelling of like, that was acting.
Yeah.
You're all going to yell your line. You know, and so he says, I mean, there's the way they deal with homosexuality is like really, they go to a club and Sharon Stone's got a lesbian lover and she's beautiful. You know?
And all the gay dudes are wearing like one leather belt.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
it. It is. I looked up the Wikipedia on it because the gay community's voice was so muted then. I mean, they were just like, this is not a good portrayal.
And then just like everything is sorted out through sex.
Oh,
like he goes into her house and there's a random dude and a random girl and they like greet each other on the way out and she's just like, what, detective? Don't you fuck men and women too?
Exactly. I mean, and it's all these lines. It's like we're digging
every
lines
character
when
introduction.
they leave.
How do you know this person? We fucked in college.
Yeah, there's a. It's also, well, they did Showgirls, and you can see the Showgirls in it. It's like, oh my God, I see they perfected it with Showgirls. But when you see it, you know how much money that movie made?
Showgirls?
No, not Showgirls. You know how much Basic Instinct?
Probably hundreds of millions of dollars.
$349 million.
It was a mainstream success.
Absolutely, and they tried to portray it like you could tell they tried to make it like it ripped off. It ripped off a lot of Hitchcock.
When my dad rented that movie, it was a new release.
Yeah.
I remember that movie. His rotation was that movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and he liked Children of the Corn and shit like that.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That was that weird thing in the early 90s too, where it was like they would just have themes like that. A lot of stalking themes, single white female themes. They were tapping.
I've never seen that one.
They were tapping into with the Fatal Attraction was the #1 movie of 1987.
We've watched that on the show.
Psychological thing. They definitely were tapping into that for a good 6 to 8 years after that. Someone you can't trust. You met him in the ads, and now they're stalking you.
Okay,
like,
here we
don't
go.
trust strangers.
1988, talk show host Geraldo Rivera's nose is broken as Roy Innis brawls with skinheads at TV taping. Do you remember that?
I remember that being yes, absolutely. I was in college, and that was very much like, this is the low that TV has become. It's infotainment, not even realizing what was in store for the future and how it was going to be even more debased. Dude. It was like, because that was deemed like a real kind of yellow journalism thing. Why do you think Rivera still has a career?
Because he got hit in the face.
And he also the Al Capone thing.
Oh, that was an epic failure.
Yeah,
though.
but you remember him.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do this. I need to address the hat. I'm not going to become sock hat guy. I wore this because it was chilly and we walked downtown, and by the time I got home, I now have aggressive hat hair.
Yeah.
So this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the hat on
it's a
until.
Look. It's a hip look, certainly better.
But
than
I feel like
when
people see you in a certain
look,
they think like, oh well, this is his look now, and I just want to
his look
cast that away.
But Basic Instinct is it's the Esterhaus and Verhoeven, and you can see the big. I mean, they hit a brick wall when they did Showgirls.
What an auteurish fucking name, Esterhaus and Verhoeven.
Well, I mean, Esterhaus wrote like Flashdance, I think, in '83. Like he had a certain gravitas.
We don't even write a
Stone.
script, man.
But it's all they say fuck a lot.
Oh.
I mean, there's a couple lines.
That's one of the resolutions of the movie at the end when. like right when, because it ends up being he's investigating Sharon Stone because he thinks she's murdering motherfuckers.
Exactly, and she's an author and writing
all these murder novels.
And then she thinks he's writing a book about it.
And then there's a moment where they date. They try and date and bang and also have him solve this murder because he's just like, well, I don't think you did it anymore, so you can be my girlfriend. And then there's this moment where she hates him because he's like a fucking crazy cokehead who slap rapes women. And she goes, and he goes to her and he goes, "You were the fuck of a lifetime."
Oh yeah, the fuck of the century.
Fuck of the century.
Fuck of the century is said a good 3 or 4 times. That's what.
Yeah.
That's like the what you talking about. You know,
you're gonna write about that in your book.
Strokes.
You're gonna write about my dick in your book.
I mean, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the game with her."
Oh,
like,
he's an asshole.
He tries
in
to
it.
outmatch her. You know,
he's definitely Verhoeven's version of like this is what every man wants to be but can't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't really want to be that. I don't
want to
be
rape
just
women.
A total dick. And like,
I want to hear yes so many times before I have sex with women.
Of course.
I'd love it being said during. That's always good.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
they approve during.
Yeah, absolutely.
Approval, but before, during, and after is what you're going for.
But well, totally shifting gears. So I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I remembered that. I haven't lost it all with the THC. So I went out last night, had a couple beers at El Cid, and was hit on by 2 old Latin women.
Oh, there you go. Get in there, Crow.
Yeah, one of them was she was El Salvadoran. She's like, "You're very cute," but
dude,
she was
see if they'll
deep into her 50s.
See if they'll quarantine for a couple weeks. Get them thirsty.
I thought it was hilarious, but it was fun. I had a good time. Yeah, there were literally 7 people there.
Look at this imagery.
Oh, I know. You know,
it's like a goddamn fucking horror movie all of a sudden.
But again, with Basic Instinct, and the final thing with that, I should have said this before.
Yeah,
is it is such a horrible, cheap derivative Hitchcock. It is so much. What was the one Vertigo? It tried to have like Vertigo elements to it. Oh, it's so.
You know, I've never seen Vertigo.
Vertigo. And North by Northwest.
I never got Hitchcock. I get it and I like it, but it's not, again, a perfect example of movies that I enjoy and they're creepy, but they don't scare me. Like I don't get why people call those horror movies.
Yeah, they're not.
Or suspense. Like they're suspenseful.
Yeah, it's more of a.
The Birds is pretty kind of terrifying.
Oh yeah, there's some scenes in The Birds
like
that still
as
work.
It builds, you kind of do believe that like, oh, if there were this many birds in your fucking town, you'd stay inside.
Yeah, you'd have a problem. Like, you're dealing with some. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
In a real town, these fucking hard C-word fuckers would just take out guns and start blasting these birds.
Buckshot in them.
Oh,
taking 3 to 5 out every shot.
That would be done by the evening.
And you'd have a lot of carcasses.
Absolutely. And the women would be sweeping up birds for the rest.
Also, Hitchcock had weird woman issues. Like that. That's one of the.
Well, he looked like a fucking ball of bread dough. Of course he did.
And his whole like view of, I guess he was very creepy with like a lot of the
women don't like when you talk to them with these lips and
then there was
stomach.
the one with Jimmy Stewart where he's in the rear window and he has a broken leg. Is it Rear Window?
Yeah,
Rear Window. He had 3 movies in where they were good. Rear Window. Then it went Vertigo, and then it went North by Northwest. Then it went Psycho.
Do you know what I know? Here's how I know Alfred Hitchcock. From Nick at Night, they used to show Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which was his version of the Twilight Zone.
Exactly.
He would host other people's suspense stories.
Yep.
So he'd come on TV and do,
this next story is going to
his little British fat-lipped ass.
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember.
And it started out with a silhouette of his fat fucking body.
Absolutely. Oh no, he was a name. Like he was sort of a. He was deemed. Yeah, he was a figure. You know, a pop culture figure. You know. And
but that was definitely probably him being like, I don't have any more ideas.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a good paycheck.
I'll do some intros doing this.
Yep.
I mean, they were showing it in 1993 or whenever the fuck I watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's another random bit of interest for this week in TV history. November 3rd, 2019, last year, election day, not election day. Wow, isn't it just weird to think that you forget that it's every 4 years?
Yeah,
you're just like, oh yeah, we did this last year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always some sort of election.
Yep.
But who gives a fuck about those?
Yeah,
Which is really the problem, is that no one cares about the in-between elections.
Yeah, the local ones just probably have more of an impact on your life, you know? figuring out how the damn money is going to be distributed.
So November 3rd, 2019, Olivia Newton-John's black leather outfit from the film Grease sells for $405,000 at an auction in Beverly Hills.
When was this? What?
Last year.
400 what?
405,000.
Wow. I wonder who bought that.
Some psychopath who sniffed it afterwards.
I mean,
did it have her sweat droplets on it still?
Gene Siskel owned the white suit from Saturday Night Fever. Because he loved Saturday Night Fever. He thought he really related to Saturday Night Fever, which, by the way, not a woke movie. Saturday Night Fever, not a woke.
Oh, they
movie.
probably say the F word.
Oh, and they
for
say,
gay people.
And they say like spick and stuff. I mean, it's really racist. I mean, it's
and
really
I love how
sexist.
they counteract that with the not aggressive music of the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees stink.
I have on my app, and I have they're a guilty pleasure of mine. I like.
I can see that. One of my dad's crackhead
because they're
friends,
hilarious, man. They're funny to me.
I flat out told this to one of my dad's friends' faces. He's so goddamn racist and a asshole.
Yeah.
And all the time, say all this wild shit about fucking black people. And I would be like, dude, you can't. Hold on, I'm fixing this camera. He likes the Bee Gees. Like, I once heard him say the phrase, the Bee Gees rock. And I'm just like, dude, you can't think the Bee Gees rock and then also think black people smell funny. It doesn't correlate. You got to either be aggressive racist guy who listens to like skinhead punk.
Yeah.
But like, you can't like the Bee Gees and hate black people.
Exactly, because the Bee Gees were disco. Disco was, I mean, I tell you what, disco was definitely like a woke music of its time. It was definitely a
can't
woke
be
thing,
racist
you know?
and have blood, sweat, and tears.
You would have people
albums.
on the dance floor. Like you have mixed, clubs and stuff on the dance floor. That was a new thing.
What goes up must come down.
Is that Three Dog Night?
Yeah.
Got to feel the rhythm of the back. Yeah, that was that kind of. They were competitive with Chicago.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
I love that song.
I'm
as a kid.
talking about my black friend. Cause they got big lips like a frog, but I don't wanna be a racist.
Yeah, it was a.
That's a good song, by the way.
Being a kid in the 70s, what a fucking
Good
time.
music.
Oh yeah, it was. Listen, there was an awakening going on.
I had Nirvana in my lifetime.
Yep.
I feel like I was a woke child enough to consciously like Nirvana as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
That threw my friends off. I got a couple of my friends in Nirvana, but I remember that was like boring to my of age friends, like how into like current music I was. Like all my friends listened to Weird Al Yankovic and shit.
Oh yeah.
Which I like, but I'm just like, what the fuck? Like put on a Soundgarden album, dude. Like, do you know what good shit there is out there?
Absolutely. That was the time. That was the time of my youth.
I remember the silliest I got as a kid was the song Detachable Penis by King. I forget who sings it. But it's this the chorus is detachable penis, and the song's about this guy who's got a detachable dick and he loses it. So it's him just being like, I woke up in the morning. It's one of those songs where you sing it. I woke up in the morning and I didn't have my penis.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked in the medicine cabinet, but it wasn't there. And then the chorus is detachable penis, and they got this fucking. I'll play it after. Maybe
you got into that. That was a good joke song. For
but that was Weird Al for me. Like my friends would play Weird Al, and I'd be like, "This is fucking lame." God. What are you guys, 7? Oh yeah, we're 7.
That whole hipster like of Weird Al is just annoying.
Well, older I even get it, because even those songs, if you listen to the lyrics, they're more sophisticated. Ooh, what a CGI'd explosion.
Yeah, but
they don't blow up cars in movies anymore. They used to actually blow a car up.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure it's expensive. Probably an insurance risk. That's probably a choice you got to make when you're financing a movie.
Oh,
okay,
dude.
if we got to CGI this one, we can save.
Well,
some
they
money
used to pay fucking pill addicts fucking minimum wage to just build them a fleet of junk cars that they were going to blow up.
Like back in the 70s and shit.
Even in the 90s, my shop teacher got paid to make vehicles for movies.
Wow. That'd be kind of a cool
fucking
gig.
killed himself by smoking himself out with exhaust.
Oh,
Mr.
Really?
Sawinski, dude.
Why, he offed himself?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was awesome, dude. I got to high school. Everyone loved him. He basically treated you like an adult. Like if you were high in class, he would just make fun of you. He wouldn't get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I remember part of the class was if something was wrong with your car, he'd let you bring it in and we'd fix it for free.
Ugh.
Like he'd make it a part of the class. But
Yeah,
the part of the
yeah.
deal was like, it's the lesson now. But like If you pay for the parts, bring it in here, we'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Teaching you a skill,
and you bring your
skill.
car in, and he'd open up the door, and he would be like, smells like pine in here. Or you'd come into class and he would be like, why, look at Paisl's all pie-eyed over here. Why are you so pie-eyed, Paisel? But he just didn't care.
Yeah.
He was also banging one of the like high up superintendents of the school.
Wow. And he ended up offing himself?
Well, and also why I loved him, so shop class, he taught me auto body. I took auto body and fender.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to paint a car, which he told me was like riding a bike. He was like, you will never forget how to do
Grease,
this.
like the movie Grease. This is a
What
subtext.
am I gonna grease lightning?
You were a shop kid, you know.
Oh, yeah.
This is good.
I love the smell of exhaust.
Honestly, this is a good thing.
I had a long goatee. Dude, it was totally fucking... Probably wore a similar hat.
Exactly.
Get my Jinkos peeping out the bottom of a fucking car.
No, that was, so you liked him though. He was a good teacher.
Oh, he was great. And he was the shit. My mom liked him. All the teachers liked him. A little bit, probably would have been a Trump supporter, kind of right wing, called people fag all the time.
Yeah.
I remember we went to World of Wheels. We took 3 cars to World of Wheels. So I'm getting into why he made cars for movies.
Yeah.
He made a spaceship for one of the early Bond movies, like the first Daniel Craig Bond. Wow. He made, or the last Pierce Brosnan one, either one of those.
Huh.
He made cop cars for the movie Barbershop, which I repainted after.
Huh. Okay.
No, I painted cars for the second one, but he had a deal with the first one. He painted.
Wow, he had a good little business.
He had
going.
do you know the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you know when the scene where they hit a cow?
Yes, absolutely.
I
yes.
fixed that car.
Whoa!
After they did
I literally
that.
just saw that scene. I'm not lying. Like 3 days ago.
So
when they pick up Machine Gun Kelly, and he's
he
obviously
took
mad
that
at the
car
bro.
into the shop.
And
It was
shoot
fucked
Tommy on
up
it? Yeah.
because they banged. Like I'm getting back to the point where they really banged it up. They didn't hit a cow, but they really crashed it into something to simulate what would happen.
Yeah.
And we every year in auto shop, you take cars to World of Wheels. The over the year project was you would bring in a destroyed car, like almost on its frame, and you would fix it and bring it to the World of Wheels competition.
Yeah.
And we took 3 cars, and one of them was the Oh Brother Where Art Thou car, and we won first place for it. Of like we got it looking awesome.
Well, I mean that was like a 30s car or something, right? Was it like a 19th? Yeah. Good
So
for
he's
you,
making
man.
good auto shop money. He's making this movie car money, and then I graduate high school. Oh, he used to also hire us in the summer to come over to his house and fix up cars.
Oh.
He left, and me and my buddy David smoked weed in his garage, and he smelt it when he came back. He paid you all shadily. He had this book of like, the book of checks that they sell.
Yeah, exactly.
The long ass
the
fucking
ledger.
ones.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
paid us like $250 to do hard labor, which at the time he probably was so underpaying us. But we were like, Jesus, we're fucking 17.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, absolutely.
Had 2 kids, but he got caught banging the superintendent, which was hurdle number 1. Ooh. And then I guess his wife left him, who his wife used to be Blaze in American Gladiators.
Holy shit.
Like a swole ass white lady.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess she took the kids away and wouldn't let him see the kids. And then I guess he fucking sat in one of his hot rods, shut his fucking garage, and fucking that was it for fucking Steve Sawinski.
Wow. That's sad.
Oh, I felt bad. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Again, but the World of Wheels thing. So at World of Wheels,
yes.
We had our cars out, and we didn't have like a display. All the people had like this cool display.
Yeah.
And I remember he goes, have Keith make it. And I was like, why? And he goes, you're an art fag. You're one of those art fags. You'll do it. And I remember at the time not even being offended, but being like, oh no, like, because it was because my mom's an art teacher.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it skipped it. Like, I'm not good. Like, and but he was one of those guys, like one of those just do it guys, where if you needed to fucking do, like, let's say an engine block was about to fall off, and like, hey, grab that engine before it falls.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't about can you do it, get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's a big auto body thing of like, whatever needs to be done, do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about can you.
Yeah.
This has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So that's the attitude he took with me of just like, but like not that, but he was just like, you're an art fag, just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I made a decent sign. I did it slow, and he was making fun of me for going slow. He was one of those people that would give you shit like you were failing at something, but it was only because to kind of try and get you to do better. Like once you did it, he would just be like, "Oh, that looks good." Like, but along the way, he would just be like, "There was an intention
behind that."
Yeah. Or even like I remember one time, part of a project in class was he took a motorcycle gas tank, and he hit it a bunch of times with a hammer, and then he was like, "Make it smooth."
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And I kept bringing it back to him, and part of the grade was like, make it smooth with using as little Bondo as possible, because you can just grind it out, fill every dent with fucking 8 inches of Bondo, and sand, but you can see that shit. The shine's different on the paint. Like the key is you have to get like. You get these needles in there, and then you screw a thing, and you pull it out.
Yeah, you got to jerk it out. Exactly.
And then there's you have to start from the edge. It's so meticulous and slow. You have to do a rim, and then like go an eighth of an inch up, and pop that rim out. Go an eighth of an inch up, pop that rim out. Then you have to saw off the fucking tacks that you welded into the dent. And smooth that out. And fucking it took like a whole week of class.
Good for you.
And I remember I brought it to him. I thought I did so well, and he like screamed at me because there was still like, I said like he really was an asshole about how shoddy I made this thing. But he made me take out, like, sand away all the Bondo, sand away all this bullshit and pull it out. The fuck.
No, hey, those shop teachers.
He also said the N-word a couple times. Like he would say N-rig a lot.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Cunt hair. He would use the phrase cunt hair. Bring it back, a cunt hair.
I remember those industrial arts guys.
Or he would say it by town.
Coarser,
I remember one time we needed a wrench for something, and I was like, "Here, let me just grab these pliers. We just need to twist something off." And he was like, "This ain't Ford Heights, Keith." He would say that.
Like implied statements.
Like, we don't do that here. Go get the proper tool. Like a white person.
He killed himself.
Killed himself.
That is that's a sad
I felt really
story.
bad. That bummed me out. Like my mom, she was like, "You remember Mr. Sawinski?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, he fucking killed himself." And I would just be like, "Wow."
Yeah. God, that crazy stories. I wonder what happened to some of those folks I went to high school with. It's been so long. Yeah, I think this whole experience.
There's a couple kids I went to elementary school with that I'm like, I think he might be a legit Klan member now.
Yeah. You know, I wonder about, some of the people. Eau Claire, you sent me the text. Eau Claire voted for Biden.
It's surrounded by red.
Absolutely.
Is it Eau Claire County? Is it like its own county?
There's Eau Claire County, and then there's
and then there's the town of Eau Claire inside of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire, and it's got a university there that has like 12,000 students.
It's
so
spelled,
because of that,
even the EAU,
it's EAU,
but it's so pronounced because it makes
Claire.
you like you read it and you're like, ew. Eau Claire. Ew. I'm hearing Eau Claire. Eau Claire.
It's Eau Claire. It took me a long. I couldn't spell it right initially.
When you would say it to me before I saw it, I thought Claire.
Yeah, no, it's
and then
EAU.
I drove.
It's Clearwater.
You have to
it's
drive
French.
past it to get to Minneapolis on the bus.
Absolutely.
And I was like, wait, what's Eau Claire? Is that like where Croesus is from?
Yes, absolutely.
And then I heard the bus say it, and I was like, oh, it's spelled all fucked up and blockhead.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It's all
spell
Norwegian.
It's part of the. It's French. It's French.
Is it? Yeah.
It's Clearwater.
Claire.
Claire's clear, and O is water.
Claire. Yeah. It means the bread. No, I'm just kidding.
It is. But they went for Biden. You know, which is interesting. You know, that area actually is because of the university there. It's got a little bit more on the ball. There's a little bit more intelligence there. But boy, I remember there was one gay bar in my hometown. One gay bar called Maggie's, where I knew guys told me they would go over there and
they wanted to throw an F in there.
Exactly. Of course, that was the joke. It's faggies. But
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God,
that was the joke. Of course, I said it. It was 1986. I was 17.
I didn't ask if I didn't call you out.
No. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I said it. What the fuck?
Of course.
Of course, I said it. It was 1982. That's what you did.
But I remember people telling me like, yeah, man, I went over there and I went like beating gay guys. Like gay bashing went on, man, which is like so fucking. It's just so bad. It's so fucking bad,
dude.
And it was redneck. That area was redneck.
I love how in 1914 Vogue holds the first model show, and it was called the Fashion Fate. That's when you know it was in the antiquated times. They called shit a fate.
Yeah, you know, What a. What an interesting development in our species. You know what I mean? Where like fashion and stuff became a, I don't know. It became a thing. You know what I mean? It became an industry. It became a sign of wealth. I think very much a byproduct of having wealth. Look at what we can do with this wealth.
It is interesting how I think because the week of November 3rd is so tied to the presidential election that not a lot. They probably on purpose, whether it's every 4 years or not, schedule not a lot of TV shit to happen during this time.
Yeah, because it's going to be dominated by that for a good couple of days.
Because it doesn't seem like, even I'm going down it, and it's just like not a lot. Like the Nat King Cole show debuted. Like, who gives a fuck?
Nat King Cole.
When was
that
daughter
show?
a little
when
bit.
Was that?
56.
God.
The first variety program to be hosted by an African American, but he was really just setting the game up for fucking Flip Wilson to ride away with the title.
I would like to watch
of the best host, being a black man.
I would like to watch an episode of that. I bet you his personality was so subdued. I bet you they just were like, you have got to just be.
Let me see if you remember this. We got a television premiere, 1985, CBS premiere of the TV-made Lucille Ball drama Stone Pillow.
Where she played a homeless lady. She was a homeless. She was a bag lady. Hey, honey, and she, yeah, she's a homeless lady, and that was like her stretching out. You know what I mean? She was stretching out and doing some acting with that.
That's great.
She shows another bag lady the ropes. There's sexual assault as part of it, which is like really rough.
Yeah, you slap a fucking homeless person around, Crow, don't you know?
I mean, God, it's just so fucking sad.
You don't just let them be there all homeless?
I know that guy, the beard right there. It's Josh Cheney, comic Josh Cheney.
Where?
In this
movie?
His clogging commercial right there with a beard.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this is where you want to be.
Yeah,
I would like this podcast to net me as much money as these commercial fuckers
that
get.
would be amazing. Jeez, it'd be a good little revenue source. But yeah,
speaking of that, subscribe to the channel if you'd like what we're doing right now.
But I also watched. I was saying this before. I watched Goldfinger because Connery just died, so they're showing all the.
Here
bonds.
we go. God damn it! Look how things light up. This week, 1973, Man with the Golden Gun, starring Roger Moore, begins filming. Also in 90, Arsenio Hall got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Wow.
Those two things back to back. Just the fact that they make James Bond movies so often. Arsenio Hall is on the Walk of Fame. Anything's possible in Hollywood, guys.
Yeah. Arsenio Hall from his 3-year. That's his coming to America. That's my entry.
Meet the Press debuted this week in 1947. Ralph Fiennes, The English Patient, debuted in 96.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had a bit about that.
No, I didn't. It was too long-winded, dull.
Dude, Belky from from Perfect Strangers is in The English Patient. Holy shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then this is also Harry Potter era, so for the next fucking seven weeks, you're going to have the debut of a Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. When did the first one debut? I never watched the
I think 2000.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, because I was like, I remember I was young enough to where a couple of my friends legitimately went and enjoyed it. Like, not even ironically. Like, I remember my friend Wesley, I immediately saw the sign and started making fun of it, and he was like, "Oh no, my parents took me to that last week. It's actually really good." And I still didn't buy it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
1874, first cartoon depicting elephant as Republican Party symbol.
Huh.
That's fun. And they've stuck with it every time. See, that's when you know politics is so goddamn stale. Like, you haven't changed the logo
I know, since
once.
1874.
God damn. Even baseball teams change it up.
Yeah. That is true.
Also, let's be honest, the Oakland Athletic has killed the elephant logo.
That was their that was their thing for the. I think when they were in Philly, they did that. That was a homage to something Connie Mack did, I believe.
What, the elephant?
Yeah.
Didn't he think it was like the fiercest fucking thing known to man or something like that?
Who knows? You don't want to get trampled by an elephant. Like, weird, like the 19th century still has influence or something. It's crazy in the jungle. There's this book called, by Joseph Conrad, called The Jungle. No.
Yeah, nothing. Oh, wait, yeah.
Heart of Darkness.
Election of interest, 1966. Ronald Reagan becomes governor of California.
That was the true beginning of the rightward shift. That they really, when they got the governorship in California, that was a big deal. He beat an incumbent, Pat Brown, who was a hardcore like Democrat, like New Deal type guy, and he beat him. And they cut taxes. And he was the governor for 8 years. He was, and then he had obviously national ambitions, and he was refined in California. He was telegenic. He understood the medium of television, which is why Trump's presidency is such a bizarre bastardization.
Well, it's no more Reagan. Crocious. It's non-existent.
Well,
vote him out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the people were happy out here. There was genuine celebration on the streets.
Yeah. I didn't hear it so much here. There's some stuff going on downtown, but I'm sure where you live up there in fucking the hipster hills, there were fucking
absolutely.
There was sex going on in the streets.
It was
just women running around with their hairy bushes flying in the fucking wind.
I had my window open, and it was I heard horns honking, and I slept till about 9:30, kind of late for me. And I heard the horns. I was like, "Oh, Biden won. He's declared that he's."
This kind of has a World War II vibe to it.
What this so?
Like they got him running through like worn-torn villages and shit.
Well, I kind of I think that
I do like
they're
it.
in Istanbul. It's got there's an
look at them eating burritos.
It,
they're eating Mexican food.
Yeah, I mean there's an aesthetic to it.
I'm interrupting your falafel.
Exactly. Sorry about that. I love Middle Eastern food. My favorite food.
It's very good.
It's Middle Eastern food. It's filling, yet it's also not like fattening.
I like Indian food too.
Yeah, I like Indian food. It's grown on me. I used to not like it that much. I didn't find a lot of good Indian restaurants in Chicago. I didn't know the right ones to go to. Like up on Devon, Viceroy of India. I went to. And
God damn, I would love to be a part of a country that has a political position called Viceroy.
Well,
that's like Star Wars.
That's what the British, basically Prime Minister of India was called. He was the Viceroy. The British administered India with 500 people. They took. That colonization. The racism in that is just.
They get a little woker in this movie because they make her a part. She's like doing stuff with him. She's not just.
Well, no, she's responsible for getting them. You see, they've been kidnapped, and she has to go get them.
I'm not just a set of tits and a fully intact hymen, Dad. I could do stuff. Let me be a CIA person.
Yep.
Unpopped. Man. At the end of this movie, I'm going to save you and your mother, and I'm going to select a boyfriend from you. And he, like the Great Wall of Britain,
the Great Wall of Britain,
your hymen.
What is? He's Irish, right?
Yeah, he hunts down Africans in the street.
They're watching some. There we go.
They're watching. So we watched the foot soccer.
He's in the catacombs of Istanbul.
Oh yeah, he's walking those tattered.
They're all gonna get tuned up.
They got
right now.
Tattered poor person. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I swear, you take me again, I'm gonna be so upset when you take me because I've been taken again.
I guess we could ease out on this.
I tell you what, these fight sequences, just want to say, modern movies, these fight sequences,
very well put together.
They are. The choreographers and the editing is very good.
That's the thing I will give old fight movies. Like if you watch shit like The Manchurian Candidate, whenever they have to fight, it's always just kind of like throat chops and
it's
shit like
watching
that.
Star Trek from the 60s. It's hilarious,
They like do really like front kicks. They'll just like front kick someone and they'll kick one guy into like an entire crew of people.
If you watch Goldfinger, I read the Wikipedia of Goldfinger, there is a fight sequence where he has to beat up a prison guard that they actually talk about that being very much a breakthrough fight sequence for movies. And when I watched it last night, I was like, this actually is okay for a 1964 fight sequence. Like there was a certain tension to it. Like it was a good struggle that was going on. He has to fight Oddjob, who's the Korean mute.
Yeah. I was always Oddjob.
Wrestling.
In the N64 GoldenEye video game, I was Oddjob every rip. Dude, you throw your hat and it like fucking boomerangs at people.
Yeah, you take the limbs off and shit.
Oh, dude, and Oddjob was a big thick guy. He could take some shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Oddjob was the guy you were when you were playing because they had a rampage mode where you and a bunch of people could go through a level and just take out do the objective.
Yeah.
And if you sucked at the game, you were Oddjob because Oddjob could take could take a lot of power, and then you could just stand back and fling your hat at people. You were like cover.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like the fat kid who couldn't play sports, but like we got to let him play. You're the offensive line.
It was all of the dimensions of it. It was the bond. Like they perfected the story that they still do to this day. It's crazy. And his whole like when he brings all the I know it's
the early fat reject Odd Job. You know, Crow, I felt so good when I graduated from being the offensive line to you can play tight end.
Really?
Like you're not so fat that we think of you as a wall and you're just going to stand in front of the quarterback.
Yeah.
While he throws the ball to now you're fat, but like we think you can run 8 yards.
That's what when I played football for 1 year and they made me a DN tight end because they saw my body type. Kind of tall and rangy,
yeah,
you know, and so they made me a DN.
They were just like, look,
end.
If this kid is good, you see that mullet flying through the wind as he's sacking a quarterback.
I had to bring the plays in. They
did your mullet come out the back of your helmet?
Did you? I had long hair. Yeah, I had long hair. Yeah,
feathered.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was
part of the middle. Great.
Part of the middle, absolutely. You know, I should find some old pictures.
Oh, that's so fantastic.
Yeah.
How big were your glasses? Big frame? Like
I actually didn't have glasses back then.
No shit.
I didn't have glasses. I had to get glasses later in my life. My eyes got worse. I had pretty good vision back then.
That's what seeing the truth gets you guys.
I know. You squint when you. So yeah, I guess I'm in decompression. You know, for a lot of different things. I think with the election, I'll be curious to see how the legal stuff goes. I'm just happy that they've gotten out ahead of the story. So I think the legal challenges I don't think are going to hold a lot of water.
Well, one of the big stories that got buried is
it's not very good
this NXIVM cult got popped finally. Well,
wow.
they got busted. Do you know about the NXIVM cult?
Yeah, give me the background.
So this thing, it's a show on HBO called The Vow, and what the cult is it's like a cult within a pyramid scheme. So the initial thing is called NXIVM, and it starts out as just these weird business seminars that they make you pay for.
Yeah.
Like ES, like fucking intellectual system. It's like this guy who invented this technology. It's like a system of dealing with life.
Yeah.
And you spend $15,000. You take his seminar. He teaches you how to be better at any career you have. If you want to be a better public speaker, a better board executive, which on its face, shit like that isn't necessarily terrible.
Of course not.
As long as you're not charging too much for it.
This is my cult. You realize what you're talking about, right?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. This is how they pawn themselves off.
So here's what I'm founding an initial success in 1998. Raniere, this guy's name is fellow Keith Raniere, started NXIVM, a personal development company offering executive success programs, a range of techniques for self-improvement.
Absolutely.
Raniere claimed that the program's main emphasis is to have people experience more joy in their lives. During NXIVM,
that's another way they get you. They butter the knife with that.
During NXIVM,
why are you going to give me that?
During NXIVM seminars, students were expected to call Raniere and Saltzman Vanguard and Prefect, respectively.
Oh my God!
So it starts out just as that.
Yeah. So there's that language. There's a nomenclature that kind of comes with it that kind of separates you. You know, like we speak in a different way, so you and I have something in common because our language is different.
And they would latch on to like people that were doing, it seemed like their MO was let's get people that are doing well in life but still want more.
Exactly. No, and that was one of the things. Like the guy who ran the School for Exceptional Living, he would get hired by executives and he'd go on their private jets when they had to like close some deal and like whatever, they had to fly to New York and shit, and he would like, you know, fire them up for the meeting for a good hour and a half in the flight. No, where do you got this? And like, okay, you got this covered, and like getting them ready for the meeting, you know, because it was like such an intense experience for them. And it's just like, I mean, you can make money on that, but it's also an odd way to make a living. It's an odd way to make it. It's such a symptom of our capitalism.
So they start getting in actors, like Canadian actors, people in like CW shows. The main chick that one of the second in command people was the lady from that show Smallville I watch.
Huh.
She played Chloe Sullivan. She was Allison Mack. She's like the second. She is also going to jail for a little bit.
Whoa.
But she kind of dropped dime on these main two people. So it's these ESP programs, and then he gets the Seagram heiresses to join. Ooh. The dude who owned Seagram, his daughters were like...
There's some money there.
They were basically... investing money for this guy with the fucking Seagram's heirs money, and then he was using it to like fund like private jets and shit.
I'm sure
they had a headquarters in Albany, New York, and you can watch on the documentary. On the documentary, you have these videos where he would just fucking analyze people of like, you know, why do you need to be artistic to be successful? He would try and pick apart, like he would figure out what you love to do and try and basically tell you like, here's why what you love is bad for you. And once you realize what the things you love are also kind of bad for you, you're free.
There was
a lot of shit like that.
It never got to that point. You know, the group that I was part of, it was a weird way to do group therapy. You had to have assignments in the group to get through certain phases they thought you were at in your life, you know, emotionally. It's very, let it all hang out. Whatever thoughts on your mind, just fucking say it. Like all of your judgments. And it was just like, this is not healthy. And then this is just not healthy. Oh, yeah.
It's not, but that's when you know you don't have the brain for, like, you're out before however many weeks or days.
Yeah, exactly.
They say continuous seminars like this, if you do like, oh, you're here for a week, it's $12,000, you spend a week here. Yeah. They say usually by the third day, if they do their indoctrinating right, you have like a breakthrough moment where like for the first couple days, everyone thinks it's kind of weird of like, you know, we're all barefoot, we're all hugging each other. But then by the third day, they get you to cry about something.
Oh,
and you're just like, oh my God, this was so worth it. And then they got you.
Yeah, well, it's...
And then in this thing, they had weird graduating systems. Like you'd get these colored scarves to like... And like even they were like you'd think it's silly, but once they got you, you'd want these scarves.
Oh, absolutely.
But then they would say like, well, to get here, you also have to pay for more classes.
Well, exactly.
So you're basically living off this cult money because they're flying you around in private jets. You're running schools, but then also to stay in the cult, you have to keep putting money into it, and that's the pyramid scheme part of it. Because it's all coming back to this Keith Raniere guy.
Yeah.
He's getting all of it. Yeah. Then it devolves into they create this group for guys of like, we need to remind the men that like men are protectors and like we teach people how to be better protectors, better men. And then they create a female version called The Vow. And that's the actual thing that got caught. Like that's what got busted up. And it was basically... Keith Raniere and Allison Mack created this slave master system where she had to ask him to like, I'm going to eat a sandwich, master. Is that okay? Because this Keith Raniere dude, a part of his MO too was he would make women lose like crazy amounts of weight. Like, you know, if they would like calorie count, like I eat 32 calories for breakfast and shit like that. So everything. Like, can I go to sleep now? Can I eat now? Can I do this, master? And you have to get permission to do everything. And they try and sell it as like, well, it's not real. It's just an exercise. Yeah. Like, this is just a test.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
And they would they would make you do like collateral. Like, to be my slave, send me a picture of your tits so I know you're not going to tell anybody that we're doing this.
When it becomes a sex, I wonder about that if that happened in my...
Because some people would be like, well, I don't have anything incriminating to send you. So they would be like, well, make a sex tape real quick and like just create something incriminating.
Yeah, it is...
So then that got big to where Allison Mack got 5 other slaves and it was just women. And then those 5 slaves would get slaves, and then those slaves would get slaves, and then they were all just banging each other. And they eventually got arrested in Mexico, just at a fuck party, all fucking each other. They literally got busted naked. Wow. He got 120 years in jail, and his quote was, "I don't regret a second of it."
Wow. Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, what a weird hostile defiance.
That is a pussy pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the place that I went to, I have no idea if stuff like that happened. I wasn't in it long enough to actually know.
Crow wasn't in it to win it.
I wouldn't be
He's a
surprised.
loser. He's a loser, giver-upper.
Yeah, boy, what a difficult experience it was being part of that group. I'm just very glad that I got out of it. It was a poor decision. I don't really blame anyone else for it. Just I was an unhappy person at that time. I was young and I was not enjoying grad school. Whatever. I look back on it. It is... I'm just glad it was a short period of time. I made it through the other side. I survived it. I wasn't permanently altered, but just a difficult experience.
How long were you overall in it? Like a couple weeks?
No, 5 months.
5 months.
5
going
months.
continuously.
I had Monday. Here's what they got you. You had Monday group, which was an hour group therapy session. That was basically 8 people who were in the group, and then 2 facilitators. They're former industrial psychologists. A lot of industrial psychologists lost money. I think they got their budgets got cut by companies, I think, in the 80s. And they were like, okay, we're going to reinvent ourselves. We're going to be this Human Effectiveness Incorporated. And they have these weird kind of training names, the Wright Institute for Higher Learning, as if they're quasi like educational or something, So, this guy, he and his wife didn't have any kids. They were married. And they also met. They were like Christian college. They went to like, what's that Christian place?
TCU?
In the western suburbs of Chicago. It's a famous kind of Christian college. It has some very smart people there, very bright people.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't. I'll think of it later on.
I know Cornerstone.
But they were, I haven't thought about them. And there's a bunch of industrial
Are
psychologists.
they still around?
Oh yeah, I've looked it up.
Didn't you say their Yelp reviews are all like, "Oh, this is a cult"?
It was very validating. Not all of them.
Some of them are like, "This is great."
It was probably 40 to 50% of them though were just like, "Yeah, this place is horrible." They made my wife pay them $10,000. Like I paid a lot of money to go.
Did you get into the thousands?
I paid probably $2,500 over 5 months.
Wow,
which is a lot. It's $500 a month. So, where they get you is they have these weekend retreats that they don't really tell you about, where you go up into their cabin, and that's where they're going to isolate you to like. Although the food was excellent, they cooked very good food and they took care of it on that front. It's clean, but it was I just did not work. It's a lot of people. Well, I discovered a lot of people who joined. This is only my experience. It was people who already put too much pressure on themselves, putting even more pressure on themselves. People who were coming out of a really bad experience in their life, divorced, got fired from a job.
Yeah,
a parent died, or someone close to them died. Or I guess my situation was just really being unhappy in graduate school and getting my heart ripped out. Yeah, it was a relationship thing. So
it was as bad because I was just like, "Oh, you went through a breakup," and he goes, "No, I had my heart ripped out."
Yeah. So it was.
I had my heart ripped out by a fucking thief of a bitch.
Yeah, I was.
What do they call that? A Jezebel? A real Jezebel.
Yeah, it was that was a bad experience, and then they had that piled on with a very difficult, rigorous graduate school experience. That was a 1-2 punch for me. So a good friend of mine who was a comic, he joined the same group because he was engaged to a woman and she broke it off and she was part of this organization and he wanted to prove to her, hey, I can change.
I can still be in the group.
Which is a classic, I'm in my 20s and I haven't matured yet. There's a classic response to that. And it's, so I followed it. I didn't really listen to my gut well enough. I knew I didn't like it. And I kept saying, no, I'm going to keep trying, maybe have a breakthrough. And finally I was like, I'm not getting any better. This is not. I just dropped out. This is not a good experience for me, So, but I was about a year and a half after that. It took me to sort of overcome that, or sort of get through it, work it through, because I was like, God, I was an idiot.
Did you try to get other people to come?
No, I never did that. I talked a few times with other friends, and I remember them being like, "Well, I hope you're." I'm also talking to them to get like their opinions. Like, hey, I want to hear what because I didn't quite know if it was the right thing for me to do. The fact that I didn't know for sure, that's a sign. You have to trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right the very first time you're there, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I have to fight through." There's this whole notion, "Oh, you got to fight." No, why don't you do something you're good at and you enjoy doing, and make it a pleasurable experience. If you have to, like, someone have to have a breakthrough. I don't like this whole breakthrough thing.
Yeah.
Of just like, no, I think you can figure. I like rigorous thought. I like working on things and being diligent, but this whole idea of it has to be a breakthrough or something. No, just do your best job and work hard. It's just this whole, you're holding yourself back. Your human potential is, I don't know, maybe you're just not good at certain things,
Right.
And that's okay. There's a certain acceptance, so it was like the Henry Ford production line to psychological health. One of the roles you had to assume in the group, some of the people had to do a role called rebel, like these really kind of meek people who never really felt like they stood up for themselves, had to do this rebel assignment where in order to graduate out of it, you had to make the class, the group therapy session, stop functioning.
I like the idea of like, you can't say hi to me, you're a rebel. Rebels don't say hi.
Yeah, so in my group, what a guy ended up doing, he ended up setting a lamp on fire. We had a lamp.
He was a rebel for the week or whatever.
He wanted to make the group stop functioning. Like he had to do that just to get himself out of his comfort zone. That he was too meek. But yeah, this guy. I mean, there were multi-millionaires there who were in this place. But you know what? That's when I also discovered too. People with money, Keith. Another thing it's just they had the same fucking hang-ups. It's not like they're not any happier, really. In fact, they probably have more hang-ups because they're driven by it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, you talk about skeletons in closet. Usually rich people have corpses in their closet.
I mean, there was a woman in my group who's
not philosophical. I got a decaying hooker in my master bedroom closet.
There was a woman in my group whose husband was a very successful guy who got into the group and sucked her into it, and she would tell these horrible stories about how she was sexually abused as a little girl, and it was just like, I felt terrible for her, but it was like, I don't know if this is like appropriate for me to hear this. It's like a one-on-one therapy session. I kind of get that, but that was part of like, she was trying to deal with certain issues, and it's like, this is the truth too. Necessarily talking about it isn't necessarily always the solution to figuring it all out. It's like sometimes you got to kind of work some things out. You got to kind of
right.
I get talking,
sometimes you just got to take a walk for a little bit.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to have maybe a couple trusted friends you can bounce a few ideas off of to work through. Hopefully, you have a spouse that you can get along with, or girlfriend, boyfriend. It's like that can work out. But yeah, this was crazy. It was an interesting experience. I mean, that's a show too. My experience there is a show.
There you go. There's your next pilot, man.
I want to do the stalking. So here's what happened in my life. So here's what I was in graduate school, 97. Very rigorous program. A lot of math, difficult.
The world was still reeling from Orenthal James Simpson.
Yeah, 97 to 99. So I had that. Well, then
Sandberg was on his last leg.
Exactly. Kerry Wood had struck out 20.
No, that was 98.
No, yeah, but 98 was. I remember that it was the first year of grad school for me. It was the spring of 98. But I was like, I'm going to go to grad school, and I'm going to find a woman that I get along with. We're going to be on the same page. And I just basically chose this woman and tried to put her in that role, which is just does not work out.
Yeah, and she probably noticed immediately.
Yeah, it was not a good strategy. And ended up really, and trying to use my humor and stuff, that did not work. Ended up really getting rejected.
Well, it's interesting that thought process
hard
too.
Rejected.
Because I think you think that everyone thinks like that. So you're just like, well, I'm just kind of here to find someone that I like and kind of put her into a role that I need. But then she's also doing that with me. So, I'm just here to figure out what you want, and I'll be that. And then you figure out what I want, and then you be that. And then we'll kind of just like, become dull together. And then how you do it?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, or someone who had similar interests or outlooks, like, here's someone I can actually talk about.
That's usually, I think that's what created the boring Hollywood trope. Not boring, but the romantic comedy trope of like the two people that have been bickering at each other the whole movie are the ones that are really in love.
Yeah.
The girl that he complains about the pretty girl with is actually the one that he's supposed to end up with.
Yeah,
that kind of is true. Like you you put people in these like roles, and then you're like, oh yeah, but I ended up being with this girl that I went to kindergarten with.
Yeah,
that I just kind of forgot about, and then we re-met.
Yep.
Fucking 20 years later.
Yeah. No, it's also it is a if you get more experience.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of an immature way of thinking.
Also, good old Tinder, man. As much as people hate the dating apps, it works.
Yeah. So but I didn't need that last night when I was getting that attention from a 57-year-old El Salvadoran woman.
Bringing it back around.
Anyway, but
we completed the circle.
Yeah, it's this has been a good show, though.
It has been a good show.
I've been taken.
Like the video.
I'm a sailor.
Thumbs up the video.
Yes.
Hit the bell to get notified whenever we drop a new episode.
Yes.
Subscribe to the channel. Trying to get that up so we can get the viewership up.
Yep. Yep.
Got a lot of things happening. Got a new soundboard coming, a real legit big soundboard. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.